Well, now to a major development in the police killing of Breonna Taylor. The 26-year-old black woman was shot to death more than 2 years ago in a mistaken raid on the apartment in Louisville where she was sleeping. 4 of the officers involved now face federal charges in the case. Senior investigative correspondent Catherine Herridge is at the Justice Department. Catherine, good morning.
Good morning, Michelle. The Justice Department is investigating whether Breonna Taylor's death is part of a broad pattern and practice of misconduct within the Louisville Police Department, as the Attorney General released the charges yesterday.
Breonna Taylor should be alive today.
Attorney General Merrick Garland announced the civil rights charges in the botched raid that killed 26-year-old Breonna Taylor. The 4 current and former officers are accused of crimes that include obstruction, falsifying an affidavit to secure a search warrant, and excessive use of force. On March 13, 2020, Louisville police officers raided Taylor's apartment, searching for drugs allegedly stashed by a former boyfriend. Kenneth Walker, a different man who was in the apartment and dating Taylor at the time, fired 1 shot at police from a gun he was licensed to carry.
My girlfriend's dead.
Louisville police officers fired more than 30 shots, many blindly, into the apartment. Taylor was struck and killed. In an interview with Gayle King, Walker said the police never identified themselves.
They knock on the door and say who it was. We can hear them. It's dead silent. I know 1,000,000% sure that nobody identified themselves.
I've waited 874 days for today.
Taylor's mother, Tamika Palmer, spoke to reporters along with family attorney Ben Crump.
Because of Breonna Taylor, we can say this is a day that black women saw equal justice in the United States of America.
Sergeant Kyle Meany and former detective Joshua Janes are charged with falsifying an affidavit to obtain the raid search warrant. Former detective Brent Hankison is charged with blindly firing into Taylor's apartment. Janes and detective Kelly Goodlett are accused of covering up their actions. Breonna Taylor's death during the botched police raid galvanized the social justice movement. Her name is now synonymous with demonstrations over policing and racial injustice.
Breonna Taylor should have awakened in her home as usual on the morning of March 13th, 2020. Tragically, she did not.
Brett Hankison and Joshua Janes have been fired. The Louisville Police Department is in the process of terminating Kyle Meany and Kelly Goodlett. At yesterday's news conference, the Attorney General would not comment on whether the recent acquittal of 1 defendant on state charges could negatively impact the federal case. Nate.
Catherine, thank you.